Has Ferrari learned their mistakes for 2023? Ferrari has been truly disappointing in the 2022 season, and their execution on Sunday was something that was really worth worrying about, given the kind of pace they presented on Saturdays. The team lost the Drivers' Championship to Max Verstappen, and Leclerc is currently battling to keep the P2 spot, as Perez, Russell and Sainz are threatening to take it away from him. With that being said, Ferrari has shifted the focus to the 2023 season, and it seems like they have already decided on what kind of design they'll go with. On top of that, Leclerc spoke publicly about the team's flaws and what they needed to do better from 2023 onwards if they wanted to win the championship. The 2022 championship has been decided at the Suzuka GP, with Leclerc folding under pressure and losing the P2 spot to Perez due to a 5-second penalty given to him after the race had finished. This is the third time Leclerc lost points due to a driver's mistake, as the two other occasions were in France and in Imola. Still, this one was the costliest one, and although it wouldn't have changed anything in the outcome and Verstappen would have likely claimed the championship in the next event at the Circuit of the Americas, it just goes to show that Leclerc does lack the championship mentality. However, he spoke about the 2023 vision that Ferrari needs to implement in order to be a much better version of themselves and have regular wins, something that Red Bull had during the 2022 season. It was truly a wonder as to how Ferrari managed to have a huge number of pole positions, 9 for Leclerc, and just 3 wins out of those 9 poles. This is something that, according to Leclerc, must change in the future if Ferrari wants to see more consistent success and be a legitimate contender for both championships. It's always nicer to finish second and third, spoke Leclerc about the ongoing championship battle with Perez. But my main focus is not really on that. It's mostly on trying to use these last 4 races for us to be challenging for the World Championship next year. We'll try to use these last 4 races in order to be a better team for next year. I think honestly it's Sunday execution as a whole, so this is loads of things. It's tyre management, as we've seen in the last race. It's still a weak point. Communication, strategy, reliability, just to be a stronger team coming to Sunday and to actually finalize the weekend in the best way possible. Because on the Saturday, we've been often very strong, but the Sunday sometimes things fall apart. It's obvious that Sunday is the most troublesome day for Ferrari, as we've seen reliability issues and missed tactics as their biggest foes this season. That is something that cost Leclerc valuable points in Monaco and Silverstone, and one cannot help but notice how Ferrari is still very far away from the championship-winning days of 2007. Still, Leclerc thinks that Ferrari does a good job when it comes to reacting to setbacks and understanding how they work. As he added, "I think we always go through the same process. Whenever there's a mistake or something going wrong, you always try and analyze from where that's coming. And then once you understand from where it's coming, you're trying to look forward. This is what we've done this year, and that we'll continue to do." Well, I think for communication, strategy, etc., that's been a few races now we've been working on it, and I've already seen positive signs. So that is good. And then there's the tyre management, as we've seen in the last race. Where this is a bit more difficult, we need to identify all the causes of it. But this is a continuous work that we are doing and that we are getting better at. And I think we've seen it this year in some races. We've been very good with tyre management. The only thing we need to do is be good in very specific situations. Like in Japan, the Sunday was a bit cooler, obviously. It was raining also. And then when it's a bit of an unexpected situation, that's where we probably are not as good as maybe Red Bull is. So on that we need to work. Ferrari have released a statement regarding the concept of their car, saying that they will stick to what seemed to work perfectly well for them, and that is the same aerodynamic concept and the bulky side pods. The problems with the performance seem to be in the reliability of its engine, as well as in the tyre management, which is why Ferrari is working hard on fixing these problems. Jock Clear, the senior performance engineer, spoke about Ferrari's plans for the 2023 season, and when asked about whether the team will keep the same philosophy going in the next season, he added, "Absolutely, especially after the big hullabaloo in pre-season testing. And of course, the moment we heard about the Mercedes no pods before they even arrived, obviously aero departments up and down the pit lane were like panicking and throwing side pods off the car and going, oh my god, the Mercedes is going to be a second a lap quicker than us. And of course, the moment it rolled out in Bahrain, we were like, okay, we have done the right thing. The job of all of us F1 engineers is to look at what other people are doing and say, has somebody found something? But I think very, very quickly, Our aero department was confident that we've gone down the right route, and clearly we have. We're a slightly different situation to Red Bull, but I think you've seen that the general DNA of the Red Bull and the Ferrari are different. So we are not going to chase their side pod solution simply because that probably isn't going to work for our car, in the same way that they haven't chased ours, because the two teams have come at it from slightly different directions. Leclerc also spoke about the reliability of the Ferrari engine, saying that they needed to further develop and make the engine more reliable in order to score decent results. On multiple occasions this year, Binotto said that the team would rather have a fast but unreliable engine than a slow but reliable one. When talking about the direction the team is taking when it comes to the reliability of its engine, Leclerc said, "We've seen all the teams have probably challenged themselves, let's say in their decisions on how brave they go with engines. And we've seen all the engine manufacturers are going over the numbers that were originally within the regulations, and we are taking penalties for it. But I think that's a decision all the engine manufacturers have made, because you simply have to develop and you can bring reliability. Purely from a motivational point of view for the whole team, if you've got a powerful engine that needs a bit of reliability, everybody's very happy to work on that. If you've got a reliable engine but haven't got any power in it, people tend to lose faith. So I think we've made the right decision, and I think a similar decision to the other engine manufacturers, and again, we're happy that's all starting to settle out." On top of that, Leclerc said that a crucial thing for 2022 was that they were able to switch between multiple options, choosing which one is the best for the team. This is something they've done with the floor that they introduced in France, and they swapped the older version of the floor with the upgraded one. Leclerc also spoke about the remainder of the 2022 season, saying that he is very pleased the team hasn't given up on the fight for P2, even though they lost the championship fight. "Yeah, small things. I don't think there are any left. But we are coming to the end of the season, where obviously the focus is more now on next year. I think we also try to use these small upgrades to try and understand things before we finalize completely the design of next year's car. It seems like Ferrari is ready to rock and roll in the 2023 season, but is everything under control in the team? Obviously, they have struggled a lot with the shot calling and with the tactics, something that not only Red Bull but also Mercedes were able to capitalize on heavily throughout the 2022 season. This is why the Brackley-based team are very close in the fight for the P2 spot in the Constructors' Championship, and Russell is pushing to make a move for P2 or P3 in the Drivers' Championship in his first season with Mercedes. What do you think about Ferrari in the 2023 season? Do you think that they are legitimate contenders for the 2023 season with the new regulations? Let us know in the comments below.